Welcome to Landryanka on YouTube, here to help you break through fears and live an awesome life. Do you like my collection of... This is gorgeous. Would you like to purchase this? I have a whole inventory that I'm going to be selling online, but I have a big sale here coming up, and I'm going to put 50% off of things. I'm going to put stuff on my e-commerce store. Landryanka.com. Go over there and you can see my store, you can buy my course, you can do whatever you want. My store won't be up and running with products probably right away, but keep checking back. We're going to do, Are You Addicted to Unhappiness? I loved this one. Thank you, viewer, subscriber. You better be a subscriber. Come on, guys, you've got to help me here. This is how I reach massive audiences. I do this all day for free. I do all these things for free because this is how we change the world, using technology, doing amazing things. And I have businesses that operate and create income for me. And I'll put that up, my free internet videos. That's information. It's not the training. Geez, the training's pretty extensive. You have to pay for it. People have jobs. They have bills to pay too, right? They don't work for free. So I do this because it's my mission. I know what it is. It's my purpose. I'm a teacher and I love it. I love, love, love it. So I'm happy every day. Even when things challenge me, I know it's temporary and I know that this too shall pass, and it blows past me. So a lot of people, oh, don't worry about this. I'm like, I'm not. So when I make comments, nothing goes in here. I don't internalize any of it. I view it, it blows past, I make comments, whatever. I have to interact with my audience here. I like to interact with you guys, so you'll see me making comments. But it doesn't have that effect on me anymore. I just don't go into that space. So I'm always staying up here. And then if I have a dip, I catch myself, and I know that's something I have to work on. So a lot of people are so used to being in the third dimensions, where I'm going to use this a lot. I cut myself. Message, be more careful. I meant. So I did this in the other video. Here is the third dimension planet. And she's transcending. She's going out. Her energy's going out. And so she's raising her frequency. But if people stay here, they will experience the third dimension. People that are raising their frequency with her are going to go here and experience the new earth here. So a lot of people are going, it's splitting. That's just metaphorical, okay? The actual energy itself is just a higher frequency that is experiencing something completely different with her higher frequency energy. So it is a new earth. It's completely, does this make sense? We're functioning in a completely different reality, a dimension that doesn't even really know this is here anymore. And it says, oh my gosh, the planet's changing. This is amazing, right? So we're up here, okay, and you're experiencing all this thing. Well, what's happening is we've been down here for so long, and that energy, century after century after century, is part of one energy of which you are. That energy permeates. It's one consciousness. It doesn't go away. You individually get to pick and choose and raise your frequency, and the more people that do that, the more the consciousness raises. That's why it's so important for all of us to raise our consciousness. We actually contribute to that pool of frequency that raises on this planet. This is a earth thing right now I'm talking about. This is a tough school. We experience these things for a reason. It's all part of experiencing being an energy. It's like we're experiencing every form of ourselves. So you have the third dimension. Well, we've been here for so long that the density of being human has permeated us so deeply that we're so used to being argumentative, separate, thinking of ourselves as separate, unhappy, accepting that we're supposed to work in jobs we hate, accepting that we're supposed to struggle and suffer to provide for our families, accepting, all of these things that every big institution tells us how we're supposed to operate, that none of us are happy with. It's taken us down, and we're rebelling. We are rebelling in a positive way, and we're saying, I don't want to live in that world anymore. And we're starting to make big changes in our work. We're getting trained on new things. We're learning how to use technology for good. We're stepping outside with our education systems with our kids and starting to take charge with that. Back when I was a kid, you were not allowed to homeschool. It was illegal. They'd come grab the kid and pull him out and stick him in school. You don't have to do that anymore. So you get to take charge of everything. The companies, everybody's going to have to cater to us. Why? Because we're going to be buying Mineral Fusion out of Denver, Colorado. Is a no animal testing. All right, this is the color that I'm using. Mineral Fusion, wow, it doesn't say the color. It's a lip tint. I got this at Whole Foods. I know, Grandma, you don't like Whole Foods, but you know what? We gotta, you know, they care about animals, and so pick your battles, right? Okay, Lipstick Innocence. Au Naturel. This is also from Whole Foods. We have to start raising our frequency. Now, what if you're addicted to unhappiness? What if no matter what you do, you find yourself, even if you're happy, you're already self-sabotaging. This is self-sabotage. You're so used to being unhappy, it's sort of like you're waiting for the shoe to drop. This is a conditioning of the brain. And if you know who Joe Dispenza is, I suggest you purchase his book or read his book or take one of his courses, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. It's an amazing book. It gets a little technical at some point, but he's very much into the science of the brain. And that he shows that we actually rewire our brains, can rewire our brains, and it will start to choose different thoughts and different patterns. If we continue, it's like a language. I learned German. I was translating, and at one point, my brain finally gave in and started thinking and dreaming in German. And I spoke all day in German. I stopped translating, and I was just speaking German. The brain will eventually switch over, but it took a while and a lot of headaches before that happened. So I want you to remember, this will take conditioning. So this is where all of my training, all of my videos have you catching those thoughts. What am I manifesting? Right? 3-second manifesting video. Go do it again over and over till you train yourself to catch it. So you can train yourself to go over here, but you have to catch it first. If you're going all day into this negative zone and, oh, I know I'll not, you know, that this isn't going to last, or you know, you sabotage relationships, right? You start to cause problems. All right, I'll give you an example. My mother, who came from a very dysfunctional household, married my dad, who was just the sweetest guy in the world, because she wanted to not have the same childhood she had with a very dysfunctional dad who was bipolar. So she's got this great family, and she wanted this perfect family that she didn't have. She wanted to give that to my brother and I, and they did. They did an amazing job. Wonderful people, but my mother would start to pick fights with my dad. And so finally she was just dealing with this, and my dad's like, what are you doing? There isn't a problem. So she went to see a counselor. She later told me about this. And the counselor said she was so used to being in an unstable, unhappy household, she didn't know how to function in a, you know, happy zone. So she would create chaos that would emulate this disruption that she was used to, because she knew what to do with chaos. She knew how to function in chaos. She didn't know how to function in happiness. It was almost boring to her. So she had to keep catching herself, and when she understood that, when it happened again, she would stop it, and she'd realize what she's doing, and she wouldn't open the mouth and go into that zone. So my mother struggled with this her whole life, being unhappy. And it eventually killed her. She died fairly young. Didn't really have to. I mean, she just really went downhill. And I truly believe that unhappiness just ate her physically alive. Everything was going wrong. My mother couldn't ever really completely pull out of it. And that's a shame, because so many of us function that way. And it will be you if you don't pull out of it. It will be you. Don't think for a minute somebody's going to step in and be your savior. You have to do it. You have to be the co-creator in all of that. This is the whole purpose of you being here. You have to make those decisions. No angel will do anything for you. No master will do anything for you. You must ask for the help because you are choosing it. So you have to choose. You must choose it. I'm choosing higher thoughts. I'm choosing not to function the way I have been. I'm choosing compassion and light and love over greed and ego and judgment, over separation. I know we are not separate. What is that thought? What am I manifesting? I'm manifesting separation with judgment. I'm manifesting ego, separation. I'm saying that this person is wrong, meaning that I'm wrong, that I'm somehow flawed, because that is me. That's the energy of me. Now that's tough to do because we see individual bodies here. So you don't have to go into that space because you're not going to understand it or comprehend it. Just say, whatever I do is what I'm manifesting. If I'm thinking judgment, I'm manifesting negativity and judgment for myself. It doesn't bounce back to you. It's happening. You're switching into negativity. And that's not over here. Right brain is the creative, beautiful piece. Right? This is the analytical, negative piece. That's why I always go to the left over here. What am I manifesting? Judgment. So shall ye be judged. I don't want to go into that space, but there's always thoughts. I mean, there's always thoughts that pop in that you judge, like, oh, that doesn't look good, or, oh, they could do that, right? Those are all judgments, and it goes on constantly, so you have to be the gatekeeper. If you're addicted on happiness, then you must reprogram yourself, because this is a collective for centuries that we have permeated our whole consciousness, and you as an individual expression are feeling that. That's why you came here, is to move past it. So if you are self-sabotaging, ask yourself why. It's probably just a bad habit. It's probably just what you know. And you may struggle the rest of your life like my mother did, being more comfortable with unhappiness. I don't want to live like that, and I don't. I can't stand to be unhappy. I'll do everything in my power to be happy. Everything, anything. So, what am I manifesting? Boom. Whoops. Judgment. Ask for forgiveness. What is it? Ho'oponopono. Ho'oponopono. It's, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. And mean it. Don't be like, oh good, that'll fix it. No, it won't, because the universe is you, and your intentions are the universe. You don't hide anything. So everybody thinks that what they're doing out here is okay. They think it's like this is a private closet in here nobody knows about. No, it's known throughout the cosmos. It is one thing. You hide nothing from anything or anybody. The energy knows everything because you're it. You're sharing the collective. You're butt naked out there. You can't hide anything. So, what am I manifesting? Catch it and realize you're doing it to yourself. You're doing it to yourself. Switch over here. What is that visual that I can have? A peaceful world. Sometimes I just imagine a world of peace, of light going over the planet, of healing. Sometimes that's all you need to visualize and focus on in order to get yourself off of the negativity. And then you're not thinking about that anymore. Click into that visual. World peace, a world of abundance, peace and abundance. I imagine it. The start of my videos, I usually have, a saying on there. And at the end I have a planet lit up and I'll say, peace and love to everyone. And I envision that. So if you do any of my global meditations, and you'll see that I have whatever we're focused on, I have it in the end, like, light and love to everyone, peace and abundance, or whatever. And I actually see that when I switch over. And I see it a lot during the day. I envision it. I'm raising the frequency of the planet by doing that. You are too. I know it doesn't seem like that's possible, but that's how it works. All right, so you're addicted to unhappiness, you're self-sabotaging just because it's what you're used to and the collective has been used to. So don't try and analyze it. Why you're doing it? You're doing it because it's just a habit. It's what you know. You have to reprogram yourself. So you must put in place certain new things that you do to catch it and switch over. Catch it and switch over. And keep doing it and doing it and doing it. And tell yourself, this is the world I will live in if I do not change this now. I will live in unhappiness in the lower frequency, third dimension, and I will not be up here in this beautiful space. And my mission is to raise my frequency. My mission is to do that. And if I do not change this self-sabotage of going back in unhappiness, I have not accomplished my goal here. And that is to change that pattern. Get on it. Read whatever book you need to. Watch whatever video. Come on. How many do I have? Like 3,000 videos? I think you can find a couple that's going to click with you. Me or whoever else teacher is out there that works for you. That is about you raising your frequency, not getting the lottery ticket winner. Raise your frequency. That's coming from a completely different place. And we are now transitioning into something amazingly huge. If you're not feeling it, then it's time to take care of that and switch over here. All right? It's addiction that must be rewired. It takes conscious effort of changing patterns, changing thinking, being the gatekeeper, catching it, switching over, and doing it and doing it and doing it until pretty soon you're not even over here. Because it starts to feel good and right. And your brain starts to change and you start to emanate positive chemicals within your body, which also raises your immune system. This is why I don't get sick. If I get anything, it's like 24, 48 hours, I might get a hint of something and it clears up. I don't get sick like that. The flu, if I get a touch of anything, it's like a fraction of what other people experience. We're still in human bodies, you know. You are whole, perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you, my friend. Get on it, get busy. We don't have a lot of linear time here. Namaste.